the full power and the secret of the pen, education and upbringing, spirit and destiny, the greatness of a nation, the cradle of wisdom, name of origin, the piece of world culture is Akhat. The paintings of ancient painters are specific. Their way of thinking is broad, their imagination has no borders. They closely keep in touch with nature. Every petroglyph shows how human and animals are connected. They kept painting on stones as a remembrance of that time of life. A well-known Kazakh painter, Akhmet Akhat, tries to keep connected with old monuments. He calls it the secret of petroglyph.
Вот это все рисунки имеют свой смысл. Не зря первый художник просто такие рисунки оставил, потому что эта рисунка помогала.
Each of these paintings has its own meaning. Ancient people painted for some reason. These pictures helped people. For example, they protect from bad luck. Shapes in pictures look like the sun with a man's arms and legs. We can call it abstract painting. Since that ancient time, people can draw such abstract paintings. We often see camels in cave drawings. It is the sign of patience and hard work. Big horns meant power. There are a lot of people with bows. A character with a banner means victory. There are also round-shaped wheels on carts. I think it is the sign of the Silk Way.
Есть очень много копьем, знаменосец. Знаменосец – это символ победы. Есть квадриги, колесницы.
A bull that supports the sky with joined horns means the Earth Mother. And the character with the sun instead of his head and with a bow is God. The silhouette of a horseman reminds us of fights. The bull with bows is painted as if he is watching something far away. Daily life, a fight for life. In each painting, you can see a wild nature, a style of life of the Stone Age.
Основная моя тематика, вот последней в моем творчестве, это петроглифы наскальной рисунки. Вот. Мы хорошо знаем, что петроглифы...
A theme of my last works is petroglyph. We know that there are a lot of cave drawings and petroglyphs all around the world. In Kyrgyzstan, Kashgar, and the most in Kazakhstan. There are more than 5,000 cave pictures here. In ancient times, people used to draw on stones. We can say that it was an attribute of life under the open sky. I want to show the features of those marks that are called petroglyphs. They have camels as well as talismans. There is also a wheel and a man with a tattoo. Everything that is painted by ancient people can make one completed composition. These are such compositions.
И там есть колесница.
Our painter was born in China. His father was a silk seller in Khatan. It is between Turfan and Kashgar. Akhmet traveled with his father, and from childhood he began to learn the eastern cities. He remembered beautiful nature, confessional rooms, and the city's maze of streets. After growing up, he walked the same way as he did with his father. He created his collection, East Cities, at that time.
Искусство, древний колорит, можно сказать.
I am always attracted by the deepness of the East. I devoted my many works to old streets of the East. I can even say that these streets have lyrics, story, and art. I lived on such streets in my childhood. I grew up in the Eastern style of life, the Eastern way and culture. Therefore, I always want to go there. It is wonderful. The painter paints what he feels, sees, what he transmits through himself. That is why I love, first of all, natural stones with tamga, as well as the place I have lived, the East Cities.
поэтому меня тянет. Это же прекрасно все.
The old city, Jargol. Narrow streets go along to the city. You can't see someone who walks outside. It is silent, as if there is no life.
Ну, там люди, конечно, очень открытые. Там люди открытые, без всяких хитростей. Вот. Очень гостеприимный народ.
People there are very kind, very hospitable. They love it. But now people change, just as the way of life is changing. You can see different things in one such house. They never give up things like carpets, old dishes. Everything is kept as new, even though there are modern house utilities. But their philosophy is different.
Ковер, скажем, быт. Они никогда не выбрасывают.
The painter freely uses a method to cover with the paint. The East cities shows you very well the culture and mentality of them. The hot weather of Turfan, over 50 degrees Celsius, is rendered with red colors. It is the feature of the author.
Мне близко очень в моем душе цвет, можно сказать, Востока. Да? Восток, цвет.
I am close to Eastern colors. I like terracotta red. You can notice this color on the streets of the East. The old cities are deep and beautiful. You can face this color in the Old East Mausoleum of Khoja Akhmet Yasawi. Kashgar and Turfan are also attracted by their old and archaic features. I feel very close to that place. There is some philosophy to the eastern cities.
В Кашгаре, Турфане есть очень таких улочек старинных.
This interpretation of Akhmet Akhat is devoted to symbolic pictures and objects. For example, his work, Saukele, can be considered a masterpiece because it is not made by painting, it is ceramics.
Ну, керамику я, конечно, изучал, ездил в древнюю мастеру Бухару. Вот, Бухар там...
In order to work with clay, I went to Bukhara, to one old man. We had worked together for 1 month. I learned to make ceramic things there. It was 5 years ago. I did love the techniques of making ceramics. You can make different shapes, and after burning clay, it will have different colors. And I began to paint with a glazing point that burned the ceramic vessels. After burning, it becomes more colorful and beautiful. The glaze glitters and gleams. Akhmet tries to use lessons learned in Uzbekistan, in his own studio at home. He made sculptures from the clay and went to Kapshagay to burn it. The most interesting thing is that his ceramic things are very close to pictures. It is hard to believe that the panel pictures are made of clay.
В 90-80-е годы я как график работал, обучался.
I worked as a graphic master in the 80s and 90s. I studied in Moscow Art Center and learned experimental graphics in Riga. My favorite techniques are etching and lithography. I have alone exhibited about 30 works all around the world. I participated in about 20 international exhibitions. The more you work in your sphere, the more your talent grows. The more artists work, the more the quality of the thing that they present to the world increases. The painter Akhmet Akhat doesn't waste his day. Every day he creates different beautiful pictures, and his works make us miss our ancestors' time.